Lake of Kalandra is basically the worst league I think I've ever experienced in Path of Exile. Let me go and break it down for you guys and kind of talk about what's been going on with the Path of Exile community. We're talking about the game actually getting tons of negative reviews now because of this most recent update, this most recent patch. So starting right off, let me go and actually go over the post that actually started all of this complaints here from the community. So starting right off, they're working on some updates. So there's at least some sort of light at the end of the tunnel here. If you guys haven't seen the Lake of Kalandra mechanic, I'll link it down below that kind of explains how the mechanic works for the brand new league. But to sum it up, you go into an area, you kill some stuff, and then you get some new jewelry that can roll with like some resistance modifiers or some life modifiers, or basically stats on the rolls that can roll into the negative value that would be normally kind of bad, where you can get the same item to roll positive values. But like I said, if you guys are interested in the league mechanic, I'll link it down below in a full video that explains kind of how it works. But basically, these are the new rewards that we're getting out of this league. There's not a new unique out of this league that makes builds super insane. I've been actually messing around with some of the newer buffed unique items, like the brand new Thunder Fist. This thing is super expensive, by the way. But like there are some new changes to previously existing items, but for the most part, the new content is really with these new like amulets and rings that can roll with like negative values. We're talking life can be negative. We're talking about resistance can be negative, but that's the main thing right here, right? So they posted over an announcement that they're working on making these much better. So in terms of like the Lake of Kalandra mechanic, I mentioned in a previous video how was my experience with the whole process of leveling up until the end game getting to maps. I felt like the drops were really weak. They're increasing the rewards from both league mechanic and non-league encounters throughout the lake, particularly at higher map levels and higher difficulty. So they're basically saying we're going to get better rewards. So those of you guys that complain, like myself, about the rewards in doing the league mechanic, because the point of playing a new league is to engage with the new league mechanic or potentially with some newer changes with builds, mostly with nerfs, honestly. So basically that's the change. They're going to also raise the occurrence rate of regular non-ethereal reflecting mist. So basically you get more of these items. 99% of the time, these items are almost like worthless, and it's kind of disappointing to go through the whole thing and get an item that's basically worthless, especially since you have to invest lots of time into it. These maps essentially aren't really worth anything. Some of the higher end maps are just selling for even like 3 chaos that you can actually get. And are they even rewarding? Not really. Sometimes you'll go open up chests at the very end and you get basically nothing. I actually mean nothing. You'll maybe get like 3 chromatic orbs or something like that. So it's not good in terms of the rewards. Now, this has been a topic for a long time. ARCHNEMESIS has been very terrible. I mean, I have so many videos like ready to go ahead and show you guys some of the things that other content creators talk about, because I love Path of Exile, follow a lot of other content creators, and I was curious to see, you know, is my opinion kind of different from everyone else's? Basically saying, yes, we understand there's a large jump in difficulty. We're going to go ahead and modify it to make it a little bit easier, but they're going to keep the same difficulty in red map. So the end game, it's still going to be very difficult to do some of these ARCHNEMESIS modifiers. And I'm talking about, I've got pretty good gear, I would say. You know, I got a 6-link Impulsa here. I've got the brand new Thunder Fist gloves. Like, I have like relatively decent gear, and it's still very difficult. We're talking not only through damage, but also survivability. Like, I have over 50% chance to block both spell and attacks. I've got life recovery on block. I've got 90% damage mitigation across the board for physical, and then max resistance including chaos. And it's, these things are just still too hard. I just want to show you guys, even on Reddit, literally all of the posts. So there's a, if you guys don't know who Empy is, Empyrian, he's a really high level juicer. He does the highest level of juice in terms of adding more complexity to the end game system, and he's like, dude, I'm done, basically. And then the other next, these are sorted by the top voted, right? Why is GG so ashamed of their vision that they need to hide the most impactful changes? The most impactful changes, basically, that they're saying, like the item drops. So we're going to investigate. They basically say that the players are reporting that the general item drop rate feels a lot lower in this expansion. Okay, this is a huge understatement. Like, I've been looking at some of the things that Empyrian was doing, as well as just my own personal feel from it. I feel like these drops, it's not even like 10 times less. It feels like you're getting like 1% of the original drop rate. Going into Steam, there's a lot of people complaining. This game had a very positive review. Now it's sitting at mixed. This is actually pretty bad. I remember in 3.15 there was also like a huge outlash from the community, but the main problem is you play Path of Exile to get loot, right? Making the game more difficult, at least, well, if you can accomplish it, you're still getting more loot at the end of the day. Potentially, depending on the difficulty, you might be getting some better stuff. But this league, you're getting less drops, things are getting nerfed, and and on top of that, the game is way harder. So not only did we get nerfed, but the ARCHNEMESIS modifiers, when you get like triple of like some modifier that is already too difficult, you can't kill the monster one-shots you, and you still have insanely good gear. That's a huge red flag that a lot of people aren't even really meant to complete this game, I feel like. If you look at the completion rate for the achievements over on Steam, it's like a 0.1% for not only Shaper, but Cirrus as well. So a lot of people can't already do that content. Making this even harder is just crazy in my personal opinion, but that's my take on the, the whole Steam thing, as well as like over on Reddit. I get why people are complaining. It's all just complaint. Mapping has been destroyed. I would absolutely agree with this. I just want to play some clips from like other content creators so you know that I'm not freaking out when I say that this is legitimately the worst league. I'm talking worse than 3.15, worse than Scourge, because I just feel like you can't even play the game because the whole like currency system is absolutely in a bad spot, because you can't, like, I don't have enough alks to go throw on my map to do completions. I'm running out of Vault Orbs, Scours, like I'm running out of all the currency to at least even progress in the end game. By the way, just as a heads up for any of you guys that are following my guide, I've already finished the entire guide. I'm just slowly uploading it, like the whole campaign. I still recommend anyone that's brand new to Path of Exile at least complete the game to get to the end game maps. Wait and see if this league they're gonna do some huge massive buffs, because literally it's all nothing but complaints for the most part in the community. Even going into the this exact post over here, they're like, please buff loot drops. Well, this guy's asking for resolution support, but it's disappointed. How is this an oversight? How disconnected are you from the player base? It's all literally negative. Like, this is a huge thing, and they can fix it. And I love Path of Exile. I want the game to be fixed, because the more successful the game is, the more happy I am, because I legitimately play this game for fun. I still upload my guides for YouTube and stuff like that, but even off YouTube, I still play the game on a regular basis. I want to share some clips with other content creators so you guys can see some of the levels of frustration and understand why this league is so bad. So starting right off, we've got over here Empyrian. He's showing off basically a clip from what he used to get versus what he's getting now, and it is like night and day different. So this is basically showing off. This is with 6 players, maxing things out.
Do we have the clip from last league?
So this is the loot that they got. It's like relatively meh, right? Like, if they're doing content that's gonna cost, let's say, like 300-ish chaos orbs to even roll the map, they're like maybe breaking even, maybe going negative, but they're showing off before. I mean, this is night and day difference for like the amount of like loot. Even if you just look at the contracts that they're getting, look, there's like 6 contracts over here, and then if we go to like what was in the previous one, I mean, it's a huge difference. And on top of that, not only just the contracts, but look at the loot. It's not even close. I don't know what the exact number is. Obviously it can vary, maybe I'm having bad luck, maybe every streamer is having bad luck, but for the most part, I feel like it's legitimately, it feels like you're getting 1% of what you used to get. And on top of that whole Divine Exalted Orb exchange, I'm not a fan of the change. I don't even feel like it was something that we needed to change in the first place, right? Going over, this is Big Ducks over here. This is what he had to say. I'm just gonna play some small little clips so again, you guys understand. I'll link everything down below too, in case you want to watch their full video, but this is like my full video of like the complaints as well as my thoughts.
Various people have been saying, I can't find maps, I'm running out of alchemy orbs, I don't
that's exactly what I was saying. I was even complaining about this last time. I'm like, dude, I don't have any Vol Orbs. Where am I going to get more Vol Orbs? Especially if I was playing like in solo self-found or anything like that. That would be so terrible. Just be like, okay, well, I don't have any more. Like, I cannot progress. I have to go do lower tier maps, and that's not fun. This post over here was by Zizaran. I mean, let's see what he has to say. Just a short clip that I...
And quantity stuff seems straight up bugged, and that isn't really...
Okay, so he's mentioning that it's bugged. I was thinking the same thing when I was doing my progression. I'm like, maybe I'm just getting really unlucky. So I think with this post, I mean, they are technically saying that they're investigating it, but these drop rates are just... It 100% seems like a bug. I don't think that they intended it for the drops to be this bad. Maybe there is like a decimal point that they just didn't roll over or something. I really feel like there is a bug. I don't think it's meant to be like this, or something else is causing some weird, way with the drops. This is another content creator, KobeBlackMamba. He posted it basically on final thoughts over here, and like I said, I'll link all the videos, but the whole game just, it feels bad because they keep on nerfing us in defenses and sometimes even in damage. But this league, there's also a nerf with like Defiance Banner, but they're nerfing our defensive capabilities, but then making these monsters just stronger and stronger, and it's like a double nerf. But specifically the thing that you play Path of Exile or any action RPG, because I play lots of them. I play Diablo, you guys know I played Last Epoch, Wolves, and like I play like a lot of different action RPGs. Looking forward also to Torchlight Infinite when that game comes out very soon. But the thing is that like this is the arch nemesis is a huge thing, and it keeps on, they keep on just like messing up arch nemesis. They've nerfed arch nemesis so many times, and then like there's like here it is again, guys, and it's still way too strong every single time. But yeah, he has a really great bullet points over here. And then I'm still curious to see if they release a hard mode. This feels like we're beta testing the hard mode in PoE, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and they're like, okay, by the way, guys, you guys were playing the hard mode all the time. We just wanted to get your guys' reaction to it. We're going to be buffing all the 3.15 changes. That is all getting reverted. I would love for them to just announce it. That would be like the greatest announcement ever. But like specifically, you need to have good loot drops. If your loot is worse, the game is harder, you're getting less loot, like it becomes infinitely harder to actually progress in the game over here. Even Mathil over here, this is what he had to say.
The issue is that there is a pretty sizable jump in difficulty once you start mapping, and that is largely because of
ARCHNEMESIS. I've already said it. In fact, in this campaign playthrough, we didn't die at all until we get to the ARCHNEMESIS. I died one time throughout the entirety of our playthrough for like the new player's guide, and it wasn't even because of like the campaign. These ARCHNEMESIS modifiers are way too hard. Anyone that's a beginner player will consistently just die. These shouldn't even exist, I feel like, in the game in terms of the ARCHNEMESIS modifiers until I think you get to maps, and it should be something that like you open up. Or it could be like basically, think of like an essence monster, but like they roll with it. So you can just not engage with the arch nemesis if you don't want to. But they all need to be way more rewarding. I already complained about the loot several times already, but that needs to change. And this one was pretty crazy because I'm not running an Animate Guardian yet, and I was thinking about doing it. But this is Ghazzy. He's a great content creator. If any of you guys are interested in playing minions, highly recommend his content here. But he shows off his Animate Guardian. And I was like, okay, I'm glad I saw this video because I was going to make an Animate Guardian because, you know, it's like a normal thing to do for almost all my builds. I love having Animate Guardian because it's just free extra sets, right? So this is his Animate Guardian. He's explaining some of the things that he had on. He has 38k HP plus the gear, and he's got 4.6k life per second, maxed out res, 60% physical mitigation, and 15% chance to evade attacks, right? And he's doing a map with 0 damage mods, and watch what happens. This was just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm going to stay away from Animate Guardian because you have to invest into this. This is a summon, and if it dies, you lose all the gear on it, and that feels bad, obviously, right? Let's play his clip over here.
Second versus a tool. To give you context, I will show you the clip.
Okay, so he's going to play the clip of his Animate Guardian dying in basically like 1 second here.
Right.
And it's dead. And imagine a player running into maybe that sort of hit, right? I mean, we're talking like 4k life reach in a second, 38k HP. These are insane numbers, and it's just boop, it's dead. And this is with no damage modifiers on the map. That's even more crazy, right? Because, like, you know, sometimes if something dies, it's like, okay, well, like, you know, was he doing something super ridiculously hard? And the answer was no here. So I really feel like there's a huge difference in, like, I've been just checking out, like, you know, content in general, and I've been seeing what, like, people have to say, and it's literally just all negative. And I don't want to be, like, you know, here just saying negative stuff about the game, because I enjoy the game. I was super excited when I heard that Thunderfist was getting an insane buff and using the brand new skills. I was super excited about it. I mean, the build guide, like, I'll still upload up to a certain point here, but, like, there's no new boss for me. That's the thing that gets me the most excited about any Path of Exile league, is basically being able to do the new content, you know, some sort of new boss, or get some new items, right? I've already gotten the new items, and, like, yeah, it's cool. It's just a bigger number, right? You get, like, 900 lightning damage on it. I was going to go ahead and get Impulsa, get the negative lightning resistance, and then, like, yeah, we, at the end, they get more damage. I want to see how high we can get this, and maybe, like, lightning conduit, just one-shotting things. Cool, but at the same time, I don't know if you know if that's going to be possible with this league mechanic at the far end of the game because of the arch nemesis modifiers. I'm talking about, like, bosses. I can kill, like, a lot of the bosses that are, like, T16 maps, even juiced up, in, like, 1 to 2 seconds. But these random arch nemesis monsters will take, like, 30 seconds, and I just don't want to even engage with them. I see this monster, I'm like, I start hitting it, and it's like HP doesn't go down. I'm like, you know, I'm good. I'm just going to forget about it. To play the league and have this as the reward with no new, like, endgame boss to kill, and I already got kind of what I wanted, which is basically basically Thunder Fist. I could get Impulsa too. But at this point in the league, I feel like I'm going to wait and see if they have a massive buff. If not, I'm pretty much done with this league, I'll be honest. But there's a lot of other action RPGs, you know, coming out in the future. We obviously have Diablo 4 Beta coming out. We have Torchlight Infinite. So I'm really excited to see, you know, where those games go, because that's what my brain is thinking here. Because as a content creator, I create stuff for lots of different games. And in fact, last night I was kind of just so over the league in terms of like, I'm not getting any good drops, right? I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just play Fortnite at this point. But that's kind of how I feel about this league. So please, if any of you guys are, you know, able to reach out, you know, comment and stuff on different forums and stuff, let them know that, like, you're just not happy with this league if you're not enjoying it. But, like, I'm curious to know how you guys feel about the league. And like I said, I already have all the video footage recorded for the, like, the new players beginners guide. So that'll still all come out throughout the week. But after that, I'll probably be playing Diablo 3 for the next season. That's starting pretty soon as well. So if you're brand new here and you do want to see more action RPG, more gaming content in the future, hit subscribe, turn the bell. But let me know your thoughts on this league. Are you guys enjoying it, or do you feel like you might be just dipping out? Because that's honestly how I feel. And I honestly think that this is one of the worst leagues that I've seen in a very, very, very long time. It's the worst league, I think. I think it's worse than 3.15. Because at least in 3.15, we had good rewards. But, like, I feel like we're getting 1% of what we had in terms of loot. And that just makes me not want to play an action RPG. You play it for the loot. But anyways, take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.